south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback out of Nevada. Still a 49er, it's Colin Kaepernick.
And all we kept hearing was that he was going to be somewhere else, didn't we? The trade rumors were all over the place. What were we talking about? Denver? I think the Jets there was some discussion about.
Buffalo a little bit.
Yeah,
Cleveland.
A little bit. Yeah, a whole bunch of different places. But he's back in San Francisco. And if Carlos Hyde runs the ball real well, we may see flashes of the old Colin Kaepernick off of the run game where he can use his legs as well as throw the ball downfield.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Throwing now is Kaepernick. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got size, the hands.
The speed. Can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Carlos Hyde's a physical, tough runner. Had a few dings, but I don't think he should change a thing in terms of style. And I think that playing in Chip Kelly's offense gives him a chance to catch the ball more as well.
He can do both with him, Kenny. And he said he's excited to be in that Chip Kelly offense.
I think the versatility will really be to his liking.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Kaepernick to throw on second down. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Kaepernick wants to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Mike Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go now. Right, 20.
To throw on 2nd down is Romo. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They fake the give to Elliott. Now Romo finding time. He's got a man. It's Will by the 49ers. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult that offensive.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 8 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 3 yards to go on 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, You almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
To throw, Kaepernick being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That penalty is declined.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Into the red zone now, Kaepernick. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Quentin Patton that time. And now it's second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's Kaepernick. This will be caught at the 2. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. And Cap, of course, was a great baseball player, drafted as a pitcher. He kind of showed his arm right there, didn't he?
Yeah, he let that one go, didn't he? That was a catcher putting down the number 1 signal for the fastball and turning it loose. It was needed in that situation, though. He had to throw a tight spiral and a hard one in order to get it in there for a completion. A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Kaepernick going to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jim Dre, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On first down, it's Romo. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first and 10, Romo surveying the field. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So we've hit, and apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down.
Here we go. Left 35. Left.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Second down now after the incompletion.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Back to the air they go. Romo on second down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. 2nd down following the run. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Romo looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
And another reception by Jason Witten. All reliable for Tony Romo. You know what they say, partner. Once you get your first 1,000 catches, it's all gravy after that.
Yeah, one of 2 tight ends. He and Tony Gonzalez in the 1,000-catch club in the tight end department. Now it's Romo. And that's incomplete. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. Romo once more. And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And he's able to put it through. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it. And right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all, because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A dump off for Davis. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he finds McDonald. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Able to shake him off. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell McClain able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. Kaepernick to throw on 2nd down. Complete to Quentin Panton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw, Kaepernick. This will be caught at about the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Charles, on the slant, you always need good ball placement. They got it there.
Brandon, the quarterback, put it in the exact perfect spot, right to the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and he used his body to keep the defender away.
1st and goal from the 5. They'll run. Hyde. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd and 4.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He'll look to throw, and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Vance McDonald, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Dawson on to kick it away. Whitehead, the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You
worked on these situations.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he puts it through. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. And they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure? Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he will cross the... And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Another carry for the rookie Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan.